Verse 20, what page?
85.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, next verse, please, Aditi.
Atyarechayadityukto nyasah shutriyat evahi karmabhyo manasantebhya etavediti vajinam amritam tattva shrutam yas matyajam karma mumukshubhi agnishto Shtoma vadityuktam tatreda mabhidhiyate. Therefore, it is said by the Shruti that the renunciation of actions, including mental ones, catalogued in the Narayana Upanishad, is superior to their performance. Again, immortality is heard of in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which says, "This alone, hence they should be renounced by those who aspire after liberation."
So this is a subtle teaching. This does not mean that one is required to become a monk. The renunciation of actions means the renunciation of ego-prompted activity. We give up the notion, I'll be happy when, it'll be better if only I had children, it'd be better. If only I didn't have children, it'd be better. If only I had a partner, it'd be better. If only I got rid of the partner, it'd be better. Watch the equipment move through life. I am not the doer. Guna and karma is the doer. Qualities of the mind and the force of the past. Give up the idea that getting what I want will make me happy. Getting what you want just gets you what you want. There may be a flash of happiness for a while, but it always fades. Always. Here Shankara is saying not only physical actions, getting the cash and prizes, but the mental actions. If only I get rid of this bad habit. If only the desire for this, that, and the other thing ceases to arise. Rather than trying to stop it, quit believing it. Immediately the volume level starts to turn down on it. Because we're not feeding it anymore. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. How do you get rid of your worries? Quit worrying. Take it easy. We wear life like a loose garment. The Master Jesus framed it, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You can have this. How? What's the name of that book? Drop the Rock. Let all our struggles and strivings cease. And then when the thought arises, oh, I don't have this, that, or the other thing, I don't believe in you anymore. Just a phantom. False evidence appearing real. Chit-chaya, a shadow in consciousness. Next verse.
Oh. Nekakarakasadhyatva atfalanyatvacha karmanaha vidya tadviparitato drishtanto vishemo bhavet. Knowledge is quite opposite in nature to that of actions like agnishtoma, etc., for they are accomplished with the help of many materials and differ in the quality of the result of each individual performance. The example, therefore, is not parallel.
So, those people who think, again in ancient times, if I do these ritual exercises like Agnihotra, any puja, I'm going to dunk in the Ganges, or in modern times, I'm going to do the rosary, I'm going to do Stations of the Cross. We've started Lent today. Actions cannot free us because actions do not contradict ignorance, which is the problem. Why do the scriptures advocate ritual action? Because our minds are gross. And some subtlety of mind, a subtle mind, makes self-inquiry effective. But I will tell you the most effective way to quieten the mind. This is what Yoga Sutra says. Abhyasa vairagyacha. Practice and renunciation. It is my attachment to the world, my attachment to emotional states, my attachment to ideas that agitate the mind. Give it up. Let it go. Any thoughts on this? Next verse.
Krishyadeva Phalartha Tvad Anyakarmopabriharnam Agnishtom Svapeksheta Vidyanya Tikma Pekshate. As it produces a result variable in quality, the Agnishtoma sacrifice, like agriculture, etc., requires subsidiary actions other than itself. But what else will knowledge depend on?
So if you're doing a yajna, a ritual sacrifice, you've got to have extra priests around in case you screw up. If you mess up the mantra, somebody's got to fix it. You need to have subsidiary actions. You've got to get the ghee, you've got to get the milk, you got to get the water. Oh, have you got the right kumbha pot there? Are the bricks laid right? For you and me in the modern age, oh, I want to go do ecstatic dance, but there isn't a session tonight. Time and place. I want to do sound therapy, but my voice is terrible. I've had a cold. All I can do is croak. Oh, I'm such a mess. I want to go see my therapist. What? She's on vacation? All these actions have conditions, subsidiary actions, and always the results are finite. We're never saying that we don't experience happiness through the world. Of course we do. But it's so temporary. Shankara is saying, let go, let go. Understand the fundamental nature of our suffering. The cause of my suffering is the jonesing of the mind. It's the craving itself, the kama. It's the attachment, anubandha. It's the thirsting, trishna. That's what hurts. My mind says, solve the struggle of ego, get the people, places, things, and conditions. But yoga says, look to your direct experience. How has that worked out for you? Yoga says, drop the rock, let it go. It's all going to work out. If you ever go back and see the movie Gandhi, one of my favorite scenes is when the Brits decide to arrest him. They throw him in a cell and they get all upset because they could not imprison Gandhi. They could put his body in a cell. But he was completely content, read his books, spun his cloth, wrote letters. You're supposed to be suffering. We put you in jail. There's no prison for the man of wisdom. Any thoughts on this? Next verse.
Pratyavayastu tasyeva yasyahankara ishyate ahankara phalararthitve vidyete natmavedinaha. It is only one having egoism that may incur sin by the omission of duties. A man who has got self-knowledge has neither egoism nor a desire for the results of action.
So sin, papa, this doesn't mean I'm going to be punished. Kind of. What is papa? Any action, gross or subtle, that we engage in that grossifies the mind. What is punya, merit? Any action, gross or subtle, that we engage in that helps to purify the mind. At one level, we practice that. But think, the equipment by definition is finite. If the turntable is going around and the record is on the turntable, but you don't put the arm down on the record, no sound comes out. Likewise, the body goes through life. It gets its allotted dose of joys and sorrows, successes and failures. But if you are ever untouched by it, then it leaves no impression. But if I, Jim, am concerned about what other people think of me, how am I doing? Am I okay? What do they think of me? Even when I behave well, there's no peace. Always the fear I'm gonna screw up. The yogi isn't worried about it. Screw up is just the mind's judgment. It's all going to work out. Next verse.
Tasmad jnanahanaya sansara vinivrityaye brahma vidya vidhanaya prarabdhopanishad shatvityam.
Yes.
The Upanishads are therefore commenced in order to teach the knowledge of Brahman, so that ignorance might be removed and transmigratory existence might forever come to an end.
So he's talking about prarabdha karma. And what Shankara does in Vivekachudamani is he has this wonderful section, is there prarabdha karma for the saint, for the woman of knowledge? Does she have prarabdha? And he basically says we have the teaching of prarabdha, so that ignorant people are not agitated by the activity of the woman of knowledge. But from her standpoint, the mark of a woman of wisdom is she is not identified with the body. It is only the body that has prarabdha karma. Prarabdha meaning the force of the past maturing in this life. Self has no karma. And if the body in the waking state is not fundamentally different than the body in the dream state, how can something that's just an imagination have real cause and effect? Unreal. Don't worry about it. You just watch the movie, stay in your seat in the theater. Don't get up on the stage and try to interact with the images on the screen. Pretty entertaining, perhaps, but not real. It is only my belief in the reality of the world that makes it seem real. That's all. Next one.
Sade rupa nipurvasya kikpi chopanishad bhavet mandikarana bhavacha garbhadeha shatanathatha. The word Upanishad is derived from the root sad, prefixed by two particles, upa and ni, and followed by the suffix quip. So that which loosens the bondage of birth, old age, etc., enables a man to approach Brahman, and destroys birth, death, etc., is called Upanishad.
So the Upanishads are the concluding portion of the Vedas. They are Veda, Anta, Vedanta. And they concern one topic alone. What is the nature of ultimate reality? Whole teaching of the Upanishads is condensed into the four Mahavakyas, one from each one of the Vedas. Prajnanam Brahma, Brahman is consciousness. Ayamatma Brahma, this self is Brahman. Where is the self out there? No. Tattvamasi, you are. The fourth one is not Aham Mahatma, I am a great sage. Aham Buddha, I'm the realized soul. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that consciousness. That's the teaching. Now the third one, Tatvamasi, we call it the Upadesha Mahavakya, the instructional Mahavakya. All of yoga is implied by that. After having heard the teaching, think about it in long, continuous practice till you have steady this jnana abhyasa, this practice. My voice is giving out. I'm pretty much at the end of it. I'm at the tail end of this cold. So we're going to have to end a bit early today. So we'll end here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. And thank you, Fang, for starting us out.
No problem. Thank you.